Mr. Yeung, Mr. Tin, Mrs. Hong, Lin Goodwin, principals and teachers, other honorable guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. In my capacity as the chair of the Board of Faculty of Education and also the steering committee for the centennial celebration of teacher education at Hong Kong U, it is my delight and honor to welcome you to this School-University Partnership Symposium 2018. Now, the Symposium has been our annual flagship event as it has provided the platform to stimulate discussion and dialogue between our faculty members and other stakeholders in education. Now, this year's Symposium is of special significance because, as I mentioned, we are celebrating our centennial of teacher education at Hong Kong U. So this signified that we have been serving the community in Hong Kong for 100 years, and we are doing this in partnership with the schools. Today we are very honored to have Mr. Kevin Yeung, Secretary of Education, to be our officiating guest. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time Mr. Yeung visits our faculty. Since you have taken up this position. Anyway, I take this as your show of support of our work in promoting teacher education in Hong Kong, especially with partnership with schools, with EDB, and with other stakeholders. I don't know whether you know Mr. Yeung. Before joining the civil servant, he was in the accounting profession. And then he joined as a civil servant, serving in different capacities. He has worked in the Food and Health Bureau, Home Affairs Bureau, Kowloon City District Office, and Hong Kong Economic and Trade Office in Sydney. Before he became a politically appointed official as Under Secretary in 2012. And as we all know, from July 2017, he has taken up the post of Secretary of Education. So today we are very honored to have Mr. Yeung's presence with us, and may I now invite him to come and officiate this event. Mr. Yeung, please.
Professor Goodwin, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm very pleased to join you at the School-University Partnership Symposium 2018 to share the fruits of the professional exchanges led by the Faculty of Education of the University of Hong Kong. The joy doubles as the Faculty of Education celebrates a century of teaching education at Hong Kong U. On this occasion, I would like to salute all those who have contributed to the development of this hub of teacher education. As part of this centenary celebration of teacher education at Hong Kong U, this symposium is a jubilant event to take stock of the success achieved by partnership between the universities and schools. Despite such success, the faculty members are not resting on their laurels. Rather, they build on their experiences and keep exploring new directions for even closer bonds with schools. Thanks to their efforts and the support of the schools, the faculty's network with schools has been growing larger and stronger. The theme of this symposium is Teacher Learning and Teaching in the Age of Stream, Partnership for All. Partnership between universities and schools are integral to the success of teacher education. In fact, many would agree that a common feature of an effective teacher education program is the strong partnerships between universities and schools. Over the year, the Faculty of Education has dedicated great efforts to broadening and deepening its relationship with schools through teaching practice for student teachers, professional events, and activities for mentor teachers, and communication with different stakeholders. Today's symposium is an example of effective school-university partnership. The faculty has invited its professional partner schools to share the products of partnership scheme in a series of workshops with a focus on STREAM, which incorporates elements of reading and arts into what is called STEAM education, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The government shares the views that strengthening partnership with key community stakeholders is an essential strategy for promoting STEM education. To enable students to apply and share what they have learned in STEM-related subjects, the Education Bureau also forged close partnership with tertiary institutions and professional bodies to arrange more large-scale quality activities for students, such as education fairs related to science and technology, to foster synergy within the community for the promotion of STEM education. The Education Bureau strives to maintain robust partnership with various institutions, STEM-related professional bodies, and government organizations, and launches different initiatives to ensure that STEM projects are leveraging on existing strengths and are complementary to each other. Example includes the computational thinking and coding education, initiated by the Hong Kong Jockey Club Charity Trust, and the Enrich IT program in secondary schools, spearheaded by the Office of the Government Chief Information Officer under the Innovation and Technology Bureau. While we have been focusing much on the promotion of STEM education in recent years, it is heartening to note that the Faculty of Education is taking a bigger step forward by introducing the stream model without underplaying the importance of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Stream education helps students develop reading and writing skills as well as art skills, on top of such generic skills as problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, and creativity. The ability to read well is particularly important in that it facilitates the learning of different subject matters, whether at school or in other contexts. Recognizing the benefit of reading, the government encourages everyone in the community to read. Building on what has been achieved through the school-level initiative, Reading to Learn, one of the 4 key tasks implemented since the curriculum reform in 2001. The government recently launched a territory-wide campaign called Discover and Share the Joy of Reading to promote reading more extensively. A vast array of fun-filled activities are held to foster a favorable environment and a culture of reading across the city. The Education Bureau will continue to do its part by promoting reading in the school sector and nurturing students' interest in reading through collaboration with different partners. One support measure to be adopted is the granting of subsidy to all public primary and secondary schools from 2018-19 school year for the promotion of reading. I believe that schools will make full use of the subsidy to create a stronger reading culture among students. The success of teacher education and the promotion of STEAM or STREAM education hinge on the collaboration between different stakeholders. I would like to express my appreciation to the Faculty of Education for organizing this School-University Partnerships Symposium. The symposium provides an ideal opportunities for key stakeholders to establish professional networks through sharing experiences and exploring issues relating to teachers' professional development. Closer collaboration between the university and schools will definitely be in the interest of the next generation of teachers and their students. Last but not least, I wish all participants a fruitful experience, and in particular, every overseas guest a very enjoyable stay in Hong Kong. And if it is really the first time I'm here at Faculty of Education, I hope that I could come here more often. And I wish to see you all in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Yeung. We would love to have you come back many, many times, so we look forward to seeing you again. Mr. Yeung, Mrs. Hong, Mr. Tin, Chairman of Schools Councils, Principals, Honorable guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure and delight that I welcome you here to this year's symposium. It is indeed a special occasion to celebrate the achievement and success of our partnerships with schools and with different key stakeholders in the education community. Our theme this year, as Mr. Yeung has already mentioned, is Teacher Learning and Teaching in an Age of Stream, Partnership for All. And we decided on this focus because we wanted to emphasize the notion of learning beyond content. The content of the sciences and technology is certainly very, very important, but the notion of integrated teaching and curriculum, student-centeredness in our instruction and curriculum design, and the sort of flexible, interdisciplinary, and creative mindsets that STEM and STREAM can foster are the central focus of our conversations today. So content as a vehicle for all the amazing kinds of thinking that we can engage our students in. This symposium is certainly one of the most important ways that we can bring together our community and highlight our partnership and connect with the wider education community that we hope to serve. Our goal is always to bring new insights and to inspire learning and teaching among teachers, whether they're in schools, whether they are preparing to be in schools, or whether they're at the university. But successful teacher education does not take place in any kind of vacuum. We certainly cannot do it alone, and different levels of partnership contribute to our success. So, of course, we are very, very proud of the fact that the Faculty of Education is ranked 7th globally in the latest QS World Rankings by subject. So that makes us very happy that our work is acknowledged, but also demonstrates the sort of legacy and standard that we need to maintain. In the Times Higher Education University Subject Ranking for Education in 2018, our faculty was ranked as world number 4. These high achievements are definitely a consequence of our work with partners, especially partners in schools. We could not do the work that we do, certainly, without you. I want to talk a little bit about our partnerships and to give you sort of a flavor of the extent to which we work together. So let's see. In this past academic year, 267 schools provided teaching practicum placements to our student teachers. In addition, 254 schools are currently involved in research and other professional development projects. Teachers from 503 schools have joined professional development courses offered by our faculty. A total of 829 different schools are involved in these different levels of partnerships, including 78 kindergartens, 382 primary schools, 348 secondary schools, and 21 special schools. And of course, there are many schools, we are thankful to find, are interested in being involved with us in multiple projects. So in hosting our student teachers, being engaged in research, partnering with us around other professional development activities. This helps us, this close connection with schools, and the relationships that we treasure and are trying to nurture all the time, ensures that we can be responsive to community needs. And so we are playing a leading role in carrying out research and projects around 3 key areas. We've talked a great deal about STEM, and some examples are the pedagogical use of instructional technology or digital literacy skills, a new very critical skill that all of us, not just young people, need. We have a new Masters of Education specialism around STEM, and we are launching it actually in September, so we are very, very excited about that. And we have a deep concern with equity for students all along the continuum, from those who are the most gifted to those who may be the most challenged in a variety of ways. In addition to that, around questions of equity, are paying attention to the learning, success, and achievement of ethnic minority students in Hong Kong schools. Mr. Yeung and I were having a conversation earlier that there are no children to waste. We need to build the capacity of every child because those children are definitely our future. We are also partnering with more than 20 community partners and NGOs because our students many of them are required to do experiential learning projects out in the community. And that is because we understand clearly that learning happens in many different contexts. So schools and classrooms are only one space in which learning can occur. And so we certainly thank our community partners for doing that. Our goal, and we thank you for being here so that we can say this out loud and sort of recommit to our desire and intention to deepen and strengthen partnerships, to work with you to find solutions to the problems that we all find troubling and keep us up at night. Our partnerships are a win-win situation. The fact is that any training and support that you provide as schools pave the way for the successful development of our student teachers who are tomorrow's educators. In turn, when schools support our projects and research, we are able to deepen our understanding of what works, what matters, and how teaching and learning can be supported and enhanced. And these new theories just recycle and they become part of what happens in schools. So through this cycle of learning, we can all be mutually supportive of of each other and also support the students whom we all care about. Our partnerships have been crucial in the first 100 years. As you've heard, we are celebrating 100 years of teacher education at Hong Kong University. And in fact, the motto of our symposium, Bak Min Xu Yan, right? It takes 100 years to nurture a human being. It takes 100 years to start the process of teacher education. So we have much space ahead of us. This is also the 100th birthday of Dr. Ting Ka-ping, and as a tribute to him and his passionate contribution to education, the Foundation made a very special and generous gift for today's Partnership Forum. So again, our motto is in tribute to Ting Ka-ping. So please join me in thanking everyone, especially yourselves, for being here, Mr. Yeung for your presence and your really inspired conversation to us, and the Ting Ka-ping Foundation for being always a friend of education. Thank you.